What?
Take a good look.
Hey, if you keep this up, you'll be in law school. Look at that, look at that. Hey. Incidentally, I've been reading your mail. People are on your side. Times they are changing.
You read the jury's mind?
Miss Bannerman? Here are the nurse's notes. Now, you used the word unresponsive, uncomplaining, unable to communicate. Is that right?
That's right.
Please put your finger on the word unresponsive.
I can't put my finger on it.
Because it's not there, right?
That's correct. But not responding is there.
So, for all you know, when Ann Caput wrote not responding, she could have meant that Martha Busick was not responding to medication. Right? Is that a fair statement?
That is a fair statement.
Huh? Now, when you interviewed Ann Caput on May 22nd, did you tell her that after she left Martha Busick that previous Saturday, that another nurse went in and administered a further 45 milligrams of morphine to Mrs. Busick? I mean, did you tell her that before she made the statement, I must have killed her?
I don't remember telling Ann that.
You didn't think it was important to tell her that. So, when my client said I must have killed her, she said it without knowing that another 45 milligrams of morphine had been given. An hour later, I mean, after she left.
It is possible that Ann made that statement without knowing that another nurse had administered 45 milligrams.
Didn't you think it was important to tell her that?
I won't allow that question, Counselor.
You interviewed 8 people, nurses, supervisors, concerning Martha Busick's death.
Yes.
Were there any notes taken of these interviews?
There weren't any notes taken during the interviews.
8 people interviewed an average of 2 to 3 hours, and not one single solitary note taken.
That's correct.
Wow. Do you recall a press conference where Ann was asked, Ann, did you intend to kill Martha Busick?
Yes.
Yeah. Did Ann reply, no, of course I didn't intend to kill her. I mean, I wasn't trying out for euthanasia, nurse. Did she say that?
Yes. That is an important point that I haven't testified to.
Did you not think it important that the jury should be made aware of that fact?
Oh,
Miss Banham. Miss Banham. You have been provided with immunity from any prosecution that happens as a result of the Busick case. Is that so?
I have.
Mm-hmm. And you refused to disclose any information until such time as that immunity was given. Is that so?
That is correct.
No further questions?
With proper treatment, the patient might have lived for 8 months, perhaps longer.
Mrs. Busick was terminally ill with cancer and had but a few days to live.
My view is that death was caused by morphine poisoning.
I feel that Mrs. Busick's death was not caused by morphine poisoning, but by a combination of ailments, cancer, coronary artery disease, and damage to the lungs.
The belief is the verdict could go either way. Prosecution and defense.
Surprise coming up, Mom.
With today's
Don't
experts.
tell me, Bugs Bunny.
Now an exclusive interview with 2 of Ann Caput's daughters, Lori and Susan.
What? Our mother could never do anything like that. She's the best nurse in the world.
That's right. She could never hurt anyone.
The district attorney doesn't
I
think so.
told you.
In fact, the
Nothing
DA
to
has
those
told us he's
reporters.
absolutely confident of a conviction in this case. He says the crucial testimony has come.
I warned you two. You two swore you wouldn't talk to those creeps.
Mom, we were just trying to help. And this is the thanks we get?
stand any of you anymore. You only make things worse.
Mayor? You okay?
Go away.
Shh, honey, calm down now. Everybody says I'm gonna lick this thing. Bob's friends, my lawyer.
I'm scared, Mom. I'm scared they're gonna take you away from me.
Oh, boy. Your hair is getting so long. One of these days I'll have to treat you to a beauty parlor haircut, huh? What do you think about that? Remember how I used to sing you to sleep? You're the end of the rainbow, my pot of gold. You're mommy's little girl to have and to hold. A precious gem is what you are. Your mommy's bright and shining star. You're the spirit of Christmas, my star on the tree. You're the Easter bunny to Daddy and me. Your sugar, your spice, your everything nice. And your mommy's little girl.
That's 4 more I've dug up. Terminal patients, intractable pain, loaded up with morphine, dilaudid, codeine.
Forget it. The judge will never let us use it.
Don't you know it's Saturday?
It's important. It came to me last night, Pat. You got to put me on the stand. The jury should hear from me. I was there.
Oh, no, that's a terrible idea. You'd be under oath. Knowing you blurt out all the wrong things. Hey, we're lucky the Constitution prevents Steele from calling you to testify. You would never stand up to cross-examination. Oh, no. No, no, no. What if it were just her up there?
Yeah. A defendant in a capital case can make an unsworn statement to the jury without cross-examination if the judge allows it.
You remember the first day you came here? You talked about how you cared for your patients, how you didn't want them to die alone. That's what the jury should hear. And they should hear it from you. Yeah.
I can't.
What are you talking about? You can't. You just burst in here saying you wanted to address the jury.
My hands are shaking just thinking about it. This is the little fat kid from the broken home with the rotten jobs and the busted marriages. And now this? And that TV camera looking at me? No, I can't do it.
The fat kid is dead. She's gone. This is a murder trial.
What do you know?
What?
What do either of you know? In your three-piece suits and your Mercedes cars and your fancy restaurants. What do you know about my fears and how I hate myself sometimes? You don't know anything about me.
You talk to the jury.
No way, counselor.
doing here? I told you never to bother me on the job. What are you doing here?
You tell him. We want you to come to court. Today and the next day and...
I can't.
Oh, yes, you can. Lori and I are sick of excuses. You should be ashamed of yourself.
How can you ever live with yourself? Letting Mom down.
And we don't want to hear anymore how you're scared and don't know what to say to the reporters. You're coming with us.
Or we'll never call you Daddy again. We mean it.
Are you sure she wants me?
She does. And you better stick up for her.
So what does this case boil down to? A nurse, a mother of 3, who medicated a terminally ill patient, then proceeded to document everything she did. Who do we believe, Do we believe Dr. Tate when he tells us that Martha Busek was terminally ill? Or do we believe the other physician who tells us that she was not? Now, both of these doctors were called as witnesses by the Commonwealth. Do we believe Dr. Tate when he says that most of the cancer was removed? Do we believe Dr. Ash when he says that most of the cancer was left in? That night when Ann Capute left Miss Bannerman's office, she was told that she had been suspended for 3 days. That's all. No. But instead of calling her back to work, they suspended her for another 3 days. Your interests and those of the hospital have diverged, Anne, they said. Now, what does that mean? It means the hospital is afraid. The hospital did not know what happened. The hospital has to be careful. The hospital wants to wash its hands of Ann Capute like Pontius Pilate. There were hundreds of violations at that hospital. None of them involving Ann. Now that tells you a little about the kind of nurse she was. Overworked, underpaid. But it takes a special kind of person to be a nurse. Ann Capute is not guilty of anything. I take that back. She's guilty. She's guilty of loving and caring for her patients. She's guilty of feeling pity, compassion, sympathy, and love for Martha Busek. That's all she's guilty of. Nothing more. Thank you.
Martha Busek had a future. Ann Capute took her future away. Ann said, my God, it would have been enough to kill an elephant. I must have killed her. Use your common sense. That woman over there, Ann Capute, took away whatever future Martha had.
Take it easy. He's almost through.
So who decides who lives and who dies? The doctor? A licensed practical nurse made that decision for somebody else. Does the defendant have a right to make that decision? Does she have a right to take away that woman's life? And take away whatever hope, whatever future she had? Martha Busek isn't here today. The charge is murder. I request on behalf of the Commonwealth a finding of guilty. Thank you.
You're on, kid.
I can't.
Yes, you
I now address the defendant, Ann Capute.
can. Stand up.
Mrs. Capute, in accordance with a long-time practice in capital cases, you are hereby granted the right to address the jury. Do you wish to address the jury?
Come on, get talking.
I do, Your Honor.
Very well, she may do so. She will not be permitted to take the stand, and she will not be sworn.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please excuse the notes. I'm afraid I'll go blank. Since I was 6 years old, the ultimate dream of my life was to be a nurse. I worked 17 years in various fields, raised a family. For 6 years, I drove a school bus. And finally, in 1977, I graduated nursing school. It became a reality. I loved my patients. And I loved nursing. And I loved Martha Busick, as I have any of those that I have cared for. Since May 6th, when Martha was operated on, it was common knowledge that she was a terminal cancer patient. Her screams of agony only proved to those hearing it that she wanted an increased dosage, and she was medicated with it to ease her agony. No one here, not the nurses, not my lawyer, not the district attorney, can possibly imagine the pain and agony she was going through, because they weren't there. But I was. The district attorney has accused me of willfully and intentionally killing Martha Busick. Not only here, and in the media. You've been hearing it for weeks now. My children have been hearing it. We've been hearing it for a year and a half. And I stand before you today and I beg of you only one thing. If you believe the district attorney when he says that I killed Martha Busick, then I ask you to return a guilty verdict. But if not, if you believe, as I swear to you is true, that I did nothing other than help Martha with her agony and her suffering, then set me free and return me to my family. Thank you for listening.
Let's take a look at the weather map now. Moving down along the coast as you look at Cape Cod, temperatures at Hyannis are about 55 degrees, humidity 50%. There's fog out there. The winds are east northeast 10.
Mom, we know you're gonna come out okay. People are on your side. Everyone knows you're innocent.
Even the Red Sox don't have fans like you. Now, beat it.
Night, Pop. Night, everybody.
Good night. You think people are on my side?
Sure. Letters, nurses and hospital people waiting outside with signs.
It's a tough part. Now that they think I'm innocent, I got the feeling the jury's gonna give the DA what he wants.
How can you say that?
Hard luck, Annie, I guess. Worked my butt off to become a nurse. Stayed up late, made a mess of my marriages. And now that I know I'm innocent, know it in my heart the way I should have all along, the iron ball is gonna hit me. You married a loser, Charlie Compute.
Oh, I